Finishing up with the fan favorite part of the show. This is where we do our This Week in History trivia style. I ask AI to give me 7 questions from the previous week in history, ending on the 23rd, and we answer them together. I read the question, you give me your answers, I give you my answers. And we see if we can go 7 for 7. Last week I did go 7 for 7. Tell you, it's a great way to start your week by being smart. I like being smart. Here we go. Question number 1. On March 17th, 1776, during the American Revolutionary War, what city did British forces evacuate after a successful siege by American troops led by General George Washington? What city did British forces evacuate after a successful siege by American troops led by General George Washington? Question number 1. This is March 17th. Was it New York City? Was it Boston? Was it Philadelphia? Or was it Charleston? What city did the British evacuate? Mr. Taney pops in with Yorktown, not one of the options. Probably not correct. Was it New York, Boston, Philadelphia, or Charleston? It's funny to think that you could evacuate any of those cities nowadays. I love Charleston, but the American Revolutionary War didn't have a lot of things going on down in Charleston. That didn't start until the Civil War. Or as they say, the war between the states. March 17th, 1776. I have brought it down to the 3. It's either Philly, Boston, or New York City. Oh, man, I hate to... Taney's answering with Philly. I am also going to go with Philly. I think I'm going to go with Philly. I don't think it was New York. It definitely wasn't Boston. I'm going with Philly. Question number 2. Again, on March 17th. March 17th is celebrated worldwide as St. Patrick's Day. Which of the following is not traditionally associated with the holiday? That's a strange question. We've never gotten one of those before. I give you 4 options, and you tell me which one of these things does not belong on your St. Patty's Day checklist. Options, all right, here. A, wearing green attire. B, parades and festivals. C, lighting fireworks. Or D, displaying shamrocks. Those are your options. Is it wearing green, parades and festivals, fireworks, or shamrocks? Which one of these things does it belong on St. Patty's Day? I know there is a delay, so I'm giving you time to answer. And I'm going to pop over there and see what's going on. Oh, we got a bunch of people that have joined us there on the Talk of the Ticks. Not many sticking around. I get it. I wouldn't stick around if I didn't know me either. So there is your second question. St. Patrick's Day, one of these things does not belong. Brian's going with C. I don't have an answer from James yet, or anyone else that may be watching. Drinking and fireworks are a no-go. He's going with fireworks. I am also going to go with fireworks, which I believe every holiday should have fireworks involved in them. That's what I believe. On March 17th, apparently, the algorithm got stuck on that day for whatever reason. So here's our third March 17th question. On March 17th, 1969, who became the first female prime minister of Israel? 1969, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. She was elected the first female prime minister of Israel. Do you know who it is? It's one of those where if you know it, like instantly. I know this. I know who this is. Patrick said shamrocks because he didn't know what they were. Okay, well, how about shillelaghs? Does he know what a shillelagh is, Dad? Here are your options for people who could have been elected Prime Minister of Israel. Oh, Brian pops in with Meir, and I'm going to not take off her spelling. I know who you're talking about, Golda Meir. As option number 1, Indira Gandhi is option number 2. Margaret Thatcher, option number 3. Or Benazir Bhutto, option number 4. Was it Golda Meir, Indira Gandhi, Margaret Thatcher, or Benazir Bhutto? I agree with Brian that it was Golda Meir. What a great name. Golda. He couldn't spell golden, or he couldn't just be gold. You know, other nationalities name their kids weird names too. It's not just the one that you're thinking of right now, racist. James is popping in with Goldie, but Golda and Meir, we all know who you're talking about. Question number 4. On March 23rd, finally something other than March 17th, on March 23rd, 1998, what film won 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director? 1998, this movie took home 11 Academy Awards, tying the record for the most Oscars won by a single film. 1998, what movie took home 11 Oscars? Was it Ben-Hur? Was it The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King? Mr. Taney pops in with Forrest Gump. That's a wrong year. Forrest Gump was out before 98. I know that for a fact. I was in it. Was it Titanic, or was it West Side Story? Now that you've had all of your options read to you, Ben-Hur, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Titanic, or West Side Story, which one of them won 11 Academy Awards? Instantly, you can remove Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur was at the beginning stages of color. Brian's going with Lord of the Rings. West Side Story, I don't know if they've ever made a movie out of West Side Story. I've just known it as a very long-running play in New York City. So it takes it down to Lord of the Rings or Titanic. And Best Picture and Best Director. James Cameron directed Titanic, right? Yep, I agree with Mr. Taney. I believe it was Titanic. A movie so long it had to have an intermission. You remember that? Remember when you went to movies? My answer is the Titanic. On March 23rd, Jesus, it's either the 17th or the 23rd. On March 23rd, 1775, which American revolutionary delivered the famous speech ending with, "Give me liberty or give me death"? This movie, I think there are 3 of them. Okay. No need to use capital letters and exclamation points, man. I just haven't seen no movie named West Side Story. I'll look for it now. March 23rd, 1775, the speech ends with, "Give me liberty or give me death." What revolutionary made that speech? Was it, here are your options, Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, John Adams, or Benjamin Franklin? Which revolutionary patriot was it that made the speech that ended with "Give me liberty or give me death"? Mr. Geringer pops in with Patrick Henry. I agree with Mr. Geringer that it was Patrick Henry. Didn't he also write Common Sense? Wasn't it him also? Didn't they hang him? Yeah, I think it didn't end well. All right, and Mr. Taney's also going with Henry. We all agree it was Patrick Henry. We'll find out if that's correct soon. On to question number 6. March 23rd, what the heck, man? March 23rd, 1919, which future dictator founded the fascist movement in Italy? You either know it or you don't know it, or maybe you can deduce it given the options I'm about to provide you. Who brought fascism to Italy in 1919? Oh, hey, Patrick, he's on the TikTok now. Cool. All right. Was it Adolf Hitler? Did Adolf Hitler export fascism to Italy in 1919? Was it Benito Mussolini, as Mr. Taney has correctly guessed, I believe? Francisco Franco, wrong country. Francisco Franco was over there on the Iberian Peninsula. Brian is also going with Mussolini. Or was it Joseph Stalin? We are all in agreement. It was Benito Mussolini that brought fascism to Italy in 1919. And it goes downhill from there for a while. The black shirts. There was a time when we lived in Italy, there was a uniform we couldn't wear because it looked too much like the black shirts, and we were too close to World War II for people to have forgotten what the black shirts did in Italy. Strange but true. Finally, our last question of the day. It's March 23rd again. Ugh. On March 23rd, 1965, NASA launched Gemini 3, its first two-man mission. Who were the astronauts on the mission? Who were the two astronauts on Gemini 3? I do not know. And if you know, I am surprised. Here are our options: Gus Grissom and John Young, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, Alan Shepard and Deke Slayton, or Jim Lovell and Frank Borman. Those are your options. Who was on Gemini 3 that was launched March 23rd, 1965? I'm going to go with Gus Grissom and John Young just because I like the name Gus Grissom. I'm always a fan of a little alliteration, and he gets dead soon afterwards. I'm pretty sure Gus Grissom dies in a capsule there at Cape Canaveral. So I'm going with Gus Grissom and John Young. Brian is going with Lovell and Borman. James is going with Grissom and Young. And up here, I got nobody making any guesses. So that's okay. Now, let's find out how we did. Again, the goal is to go 7 for 7. I do not know the answers until we know the answers. The answer to question number 1 means I will not be going 7 for 7. Anyone who correctly guessed Boston is correct. I did not guess Boston. I guessed Philly. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah, Grissom burned to death on the pad. Okay, I was right. Question number 2 was correct, and fireworks are not normally associated with St. Patrick's Day. Question number 3, it was Golda Meir. Question number 4, it was Titanic. Question number 5 was Patrick Henry. Question number 6 was Benito Mussolini. And finally, the question number 7 was Gus Grissom and John Young. I did good. I just didn't know about the whole evacuation of Boston thing. I know now. I'll know next time when we do this a year from now and that question comes up again. Very March 17th and March 23rd centric this week. Very strange that it would do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining in. Thanks for popping in and hanging out. As always, it's a fun way to start our Sundays. Getting ready to tape a new episode of The Lens B Show. Remember, you can listen to The Lens B Show wherever fine podcasts are found. We're out there. All you got to do is look for us. And if you want to join us on the Book of Faces, just search for the hashtag LUNSB, Lunsby, and join a fan page, and you can communicate with us there. It's been Sunday. It's been real. It's been fun. And it's actually been real fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you're a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.